grab your popcorn, kick back and relax, because it's time for some more Karnage. So in today's video, we're checking out how to do Waterloo. Now, there's a few different approaches to how to do this base, but we're going to be checking out the coolest walking path you can take that is also the most GBE efficient route. So before we jump into this, just a bit of a shout out to one person in particular in Swedish Royals, which is the group that I'm in at the moment. I seen their description and I decided to do an intel dump, and there's an update that's about to drop right now. So my boy Hadrian right here, he is a fellow YouTuber, and I joined with no intentions on recording, and he said, like, look, if you want to check out some replays, you know, you be you. So going to record this Waterloo. It's literally him that's allowed me to do this, so huge shout out to him. Anyway, so this is the attack. So we're going to be using Bullet. Yep, you can tell it's me. I always get their names confused. So this is actually a really cool base. So this was 1.6 million. It wasn't the perfect approach, but you can see some artilleries were used to do that. Generally, a base like this, if you can get it in one hit, that's absolutely sensational. It is worth noting that there was a shock cost reduction tribe, which really did help matters. But this attack wasn't done perfectly. It would have been a two-hitter, I think, pretty safe to say, given the amount of rockets that were around and so forth. Anyway, so deploying our Zukas. Whoa. Okay, so now our Zukas are starting to get closer as the bulk of them get in the middle, like, sort of in line with this, like, line that goes up the base towards this sniper tower. You'll see a flare will be dropped, and it'll be lined up with the middle tile of this sniper tower and the bottom left tile of this cannon. So it'll wind up looking like it'll be sitting on the line, just above the power cell, just here where these mines are. So we'll half times this so you guys can see the flare placement. Now I give you guys all this information just so you guys can help see the timing. So you guys just seen the press there. So it was where I said it was going to be, and it was when the bulk of these Zukas sort of got there. Now as our Zukas start to approach this these power cells, we're going to see the flare up, and the flare up is in the gap between this sniper tower and this machine gun, and it'll be the right tile of the machine gun that it's actually in line with. And if you time it perfectly, you will see that the Zukas walk between all of these mines. So yeah, we're going to have to keep our screen up here so we can see that flare placement. So it's going to be pretty soon. There we go. So you guys just seen the press there. It is where I said it was. So let's see. So yep, they just started approaching the first tile of that those power cells. Just as they were getting into that, that's when the press was sort of happening. So that's when you press it. Now let's see when it drops. There we go. Well, my screen is freezing. There we go. So you'll see that this magical little path that they take up the base. Now Bullet does take the hit from that mine. We're placing the smokes to keep Bullet under the smoke there. We'll put this to half times. So the flare up here is going to be pretty much as Bullet starts to sit under this flare. So it's almost immediate. So we just seen the press there. It's right next to this far left rocket, sort of like the right tile. So the bottom right tile there, that's what it was in line with. So we will see that this drops pretty much immediate. So that's how immediate that flare was. I'm going to try to stop using the word immediate because I feel like I'm being annoying. So I think I missed the shock. I don't think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. So pretty much I will go back and I will look at it. The shock was placed on the this middle part between the mortar and the boom cannon, and you'll see that the shock actually hits as he's leaving the boom cannon, which gets it in perfect position. I do believe though it is as he leaves the building house statue. That's when you press it. But I will see if I can go back and I can get that press so you guys can see it. But that's when you do it, as he's sort of on that building house statue, and it's sort of like the front tile of the boom cannon, if not sort of like in the in-between part. That's generally what you aim for. But placing all the smokes, so the shock hits, gets him in pretty nice position. Doesn't get any Zookas, so we will go to 1 times, and I will have to go back to half times just so I don't miss the flare placement on the core. Maybe I missed the press. Okay, so we just seen that. So most of the Zookas are in that flare now, so we'll probably see a bit of spread just because it was a tad late. Wow, so that's, you seen the press just now on these flamethrowers. So the further shocks first, so there's going to be 3 shocks, one that gets that, one that gets these mortars with the rocket, and then another one for this stuff. Now, although this is when the press was, it was just about half a second too late, and you will see that this mortar gets a shot off and winds up hitting some Zookas. This rocket also there's a glitch in effect at the present time where it will sometimes choose to shoot over like bullet and hit Zookas instead, and that glitch unfortunately actually hurt him in this attack. But the shock cost reduction means he's going to have enough GBE to do a second round of shocks, as opposed to a normal Waterloo where you wouldn't have that luxury, I feel like. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure you can only get 1 round of shocks off on a normal Waterloo. Or maybe not a normal Waterloo, but this particular one, that's the situation you'd be in. So, we will put this to normal times. Okay, so you just seen that press, which was as the smoke was about to dissipate. And this last one, just pressed now. So, those were the 3 shocks. And obviously using taunt there, which takes all of these 2 machine guns, these 2 mortars, and bullet is in a natural spot where the rockets will be targeting him. All except this rocket and these rockets. Those rockets will not naturally target, which is why we have to shock them. Anyway, we will see the shock, and now you can see that mortar gets the shot off. It looks like those mortars I was wrong on. It looks like they actually did target bullet. It was this rocket that did all the damage to the Zookas. Now, you'll see that I think he presses the button for those shocks now. Yep. So we just seen that there. So that's like what? That's like 10 o'clock thereabouts. Maybe 9:30 you could consider that. But that's his second round of shocks. Again, I don't know how important that is because I don't think shock cost reduction tribes are going to be around that often. But in case you get an easier version and need to do a reshock, that is the timing. So, a nutty little shock placement on all of this stuff. I gets that, and he retaunts at the right time, so to avoid losing any unnecessary Zookas, and just falls short of a 1.6 million Waterloo. So that's the building health statue. I apologize for not showing that sooner. let's see if we can go back and capture that press on that shock. Because although I did tell you when the press was, I'd like for you guys to be able to see that on the screen. So, I do know it's when he's on this building house statue that he presses it. I believe it's like as he's about to walk off it. There we go. So, I am actually using an Android phone that's 4.4 Android. Whoa. I think I missed the press on that. Yep. So, I think that press there that we just seen was the shock placement. Let's see if... Okay, so you guys can see the bomb just that's came here. So it was as he was leaving, sort of as he was in the middle, that press happened. I will try a second time just to get that capture, because my phone, the reason why I mentioned that I'm running Android 4.4 is the older version of Android. Over the years, Boom Beach has become a lot slower. So pretty much what winds up happening is, like in situations like that where this flare happens, I get like this little lag, and it causes me some problems. Needless to say. So it's sort of hard for me to time going in 4 times and then doing that, which isn't really too much of a problem, but it is what it is. Okay, so we just seen that press. I was right. I'm not sure if you guys just seen that. He pressed it sort of like in the middle bit there, almost behind the core. So, I was right. It was sort of like as he was in the middle of that building house statue that he pressed it. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this attack. I know it was a little bit different, and I know it wasn't a perfect hit, but I have literally been trying to find this walking path for Waterloo for so long, and now that I've found one, I was prepared to record the attack even under a shock cost reduction tribe, just to get that. So, huge props to Hagen for letting me record this. I hope the shout out and the intel dump, although I didn't mean for the intel dump to be a gift for like replays or anything like that, but it sort of worked out that way, which was nice. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the attack. If you did, smack the thumbs up button, tell me what you thought in those comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.